All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Bitcoin Billionaire. So, yeah, we have crashed even further today. So we go back from just today, right, all the way down, minus 13%. Looked like we were going to break through yesterday, right? We had a little pump here as Bitcoin goes up, right? And whammo, we reach kind of a plateau and goes back all the way down. And that was not a small amount that it went down. In fact, as we go from the very top to the very bottom, we're looking at 13.2%. 13.2% is not small, right? And so where is Bitcoin going to go? Is that the bottom? Like, are we really there, right? And I want to show you something that we went down all the way down, right? If we calculate like how low did we go? We literally went down to about 37,700, okay? That's where we went down. We went down all the way down right here, 37,700. Now, let's say 38,000. What's interesting is that I predicted this. I'll show you. So as you can see right here, I predicted that Bitcoin is going to go about 6 days ago. I started talking about Bitcoin going to 38,000. And then I started saying explosive move coming soon, right? And a big move in Bitcoin is like coming. I've been talking about this for 3 videos straight, okay? And that one we talk about a 13,000% gain in 15 days in the meta goal. So check this video out if you haven't checked it out. But as you can see, right, that I've been talking about this 38,000 for a long time. And guess what? That's exactly where we are right now. So now I know what everybody's thinking, right? Is that the bottom? Is this the bottom, or are we going to keep going all the way down back to 30,000? And are we going to break that, right? And what happens if the S&P 500 goes down by 20%, which is what the average crash is? The average crash in the S&P, if you don't know, a crash, right, which is what it looks is starting to happen. We're down 7% on the S&P 500. Wow, right? But what happens if we go down like 20%? Where does that bring us? And that would bring us about right here. So that's a long way from where we are. And it's very possible that that happens. It's possible that the S&P 500 is on a way down 20%, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that's not going to be good for Bitcoin. So then if that happens, oh my God, what's going to happen with Bitcoin? These are fair questions. And if you're asking yourself those questions, they're very good questions. And that's why we need some of the tools to be able to see what might the bottom be. Is it going to be 30,000? Or is it going to be less than that? So I got this chart here for you. And historically speaking, okay, the best way to see what the worst case is to look at the 200-week MA, which is around, right now, around 20,000. Let's take a look at that together. So let's take a look at this chart here, which is a bigger view, of a longer view, right? And we can see a lot of things here, and I'm going to explain to you what you're looking at, all right? So, this is called the logarithmic regression bands. And this is means the upper part. It means that Bitcoin probably will reach massive resistance at about, I don't know, what is that coming to? Like 130,000 right up on the top here, 121,000. That's kind of the top right here, right? And the bottom, according to this, right, is like about 12,000. But I don't think 12,000 is in in the cards right now. I think what we need to look at is the 200-week moving average. Now, if we look back at where does Bitcoin go, right? It is usually bounced from like the worst case price. Like, what's the worst case? And that would be this reddish line here. And we can see that in the past, many, many times we bounce off of this as support. So in other words, when we look at the worst case, we should always look at the 200-week moving average. Now, there have been times when we didn't bounce off of it. We probably broke it. But we can see for most part, it does have a lot of support on a 200-week moving average. So that's important to see, right? What is also important to see is that Bitcoin rarely, if ever, will break the all-time high of the previous bull cycle, which is 20,000. So there's it's never happened. Bitcoin will never, I wouldn't say would never in the future, but in the history of Bitcoin, it's never went lower than 20,000. It wouldn't break this zone right here, is what I'm saying, right? Which aligns with the 200-week moving average. So the very worst case for Bitcoin is a bounce off the 20,000. That is the worst case. And worst case, ladies and gentlemen, it would not be going further than that. Okay, so, and we've seen that many times. Now, also, if we go back, right, we can look at the fair value, which is also another indicator that we can look at what is the fair value of Bitcoin and where are we at. And we just bounce off of it right now, right? We're bouncing off today on the fair value at 37,700, okay? And so right now, the fair value is around 32, and the bottom part is 27,000. Okay, so we have a lot of support at 30, which is below the fair value, right? This is on the top of the fair value. So I think there's not much chance that we go to 20. And even if we did, we would stay there not very long. We would stay there a very short period of time. There's no way we'd stay there a long time. Okay, only in this massive amount of panic would we stay there. And is there fear in the market? Absolutely. Let me show you the fear. So this is the fear index at 19, but this is not updated. It will not be updated until tomorrow. We are in extreme fear. But it's also important that we look at the chart. If we look over the last year, there's a few interesting things I want you to look at. And one of them is that when we reach a bottom, it's about 10 level, like from 0 to 100. Extreme fear is at level 10. And this is usually where it goes before rebound. And we've had that in January, okay, but we've not had it since then. The last time that we had massive amount of fear like this was in January 9. Let's take a look at what happened on January 9, because on January 9, there was a fear index, I want to get this right, of 23 according to this. I don't know why it says 10 there, but that's usually where the bottom is. 20, okay, it says 10 over here. No, I see, so I'm going to get this right. There we go. Yeah, it was a fear index of 10 on January 8. So let's take a look. So here's January 8 right here in this philosophy, right at this point. Now, if that was level 10 in the fear factor, I guarantee you tomorrow when they update it, we're already back there. So it's twice we reach it. One on January 8, and now probably tomorrow when they update is going to be there again. So what does this all mean? Well, it really depends what's going to happen with the S&P 500. And I again, you know, how did I play this? I bought some. I bought some at the $38,000 level. I bought some here. And I do recommend my group that I coach to buy as well. So I definitely bought some. I bought a lot right here. And if it goes down to 30, I'm going to buy more. Now, if it happened to go down all the way to 20, for sure it's going to bounce back, right? And we'll keep going up at some point. I'm ready to hold. I don't need money right now. So no problem. But I want you to know that for me, it's okay to buy now and then keep some money in case it goes down further. There's not much more we can do because we really don't know if the market drops 20%, the S&P 500 drops 20%. Bitcoin's going to suffer with it. In the group, they're asking me, is it possible that Bitcoin goes lower than 30,000? And I said, yes, of course. It's possible if panic sets. But that is our worst case. Our worst case is 20,000, and we will not stay there very long. Even if it went all the way down, I think we would get a bounce and crank up very fast. Like it would happen in like literally minutes. So I wouldn't panic and sell if that happened. Just hold, right? And maybe have some money in case that happens, right? Because 20,000 would be very cheap for Bitcoin. But listen, the probability of that happening are less than 3%. 97% sure, 50% sure it bounces right now. And 50-50 goes all the way down to 20. Right? I would think like that. So, yeah, I think it's good. it's good that we look at the, fair value, as I told you, right? We got an idea of where that is. So, and then if we look at the green zone, which I've talked about in the past, right? We could also see that it's at the $28,000 like level. So anywhere where you start buying at 28,000 is a very good deal, right? Like it's a good deal for sure. So it's already a good price right now at fair value, as we can see, right? So it's fair value at this price. So that's why I started buying now. And that's it, guys. Like, I don't have a whole lot to say to you, except that I'm buying Bitcoin, okay? So I want to let you know, probably in the next 2 days, we're Friday now. So let's see where the market is going to end, right, after this. So markets have opened again. And let's see what kind of candles we're getting. We're still getting red candles right now. We can see that, right? It's going down. They just opened. So we're getting red candles, still going down. And probably we'll see what's going to happen. But if we can sustain some level of support for Bitcoin at this level, then I predict what will happen is Saturday, Sunday, one of those days, we will break through and get a small pump, maybe even to wherever, I don't know. But it may not be that high at 53. We could get a pump to 45, let's say to here, before we come back down and retest this. Okay, so that's all I have for you. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press like so that we show this to more people. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.